judging whether you are a go-for-it kind of group or whether the guys are just going to have to take it real easy on you today. All right, so on your trip, you're going to need some equipment. One of the things that you're going to need today is a splash guard type jacket.
It's a good look, Miss Nielsen.
This is what you need to keep the waves from constantly drenching you, especially if it's kind of cold. So you'll get one of these today. We're going to recommend that you rent a wetsuit. It's good for business, and it keeps you warm. So if the water's cold and you don't have a wetsuit and you fall in and you're in there for a long time, you can get what's called hypothermia. Hypothermia is when the blood vessels in your extremities, that's your arms and your legs, constrict, and you lose all use of them. Then you can't even walk, and your body begins to go into shock. So, when it's cold, you always want to wear a wetsuit. Now, just a personal recommendation, wear your shorts on the outside of the wetsuit so you don't look like a dork, because if you look like a dork, they're already going to put you down or something, okay? So you want to kind of look like you know what you're doing. Okay, you're going to be wearing
Picking
a
daisy
helmet
scooters.
today because you could hit your head on a rock and split your skull open. So, you should always keep your
That's
helmet
nice.
on at all times, even at
That's
lunch
cute.
when you're walking around. Everyone needs to wear shoes. We don't go in the river barefoot. There are sharp rocks, there are pieces of glass, there are all kinds of unknown things on the bottom. So, you want to wear a pair of shoes you don't mind getting wet, muddy, sandy, and basically totally ruined. In fact, at the end of the weekend, we usually throw a garbage bag full of shoes away because nobody wants them after they're on the river. So don't wear your nice shoes on the river. And so if you have a pair of Tevas or river sandals, that's the best thing with a pair of nice socks. Okay? You don't want to wear cotton on the river because have you ever dipped a cotton ball in water? It just soaks in the water. You don't want to be a cotton ball in the river. So you want to wear fleece. You want to wear lightweight clothing, stuff that doesn't hold a lot of water. You definitely don't want to wear jeans. Okay? That's not a good idea. Okay. Everybody is going to be outfitted with one of these. Does anybody know what this is called?
Life jacket.
Excuse me,
Well,
I'm
that's
Life
the
vest.
term.
Jacket.
This is a PFD. Does anybody know what that stands for?
Personal flotation device.
Your group already got a point.
We did?
Where's my pen? Yes.
Taylor!
Okay.
The birthday boy.
I did not.
Okay, so here we have our rafts. I got to erase last time's points. We have 6 rafts on this trip today, I believe. Yes. So they just got a point. All right, personal flotation device. Would anyone like to volunteer for me to show you how to properly put this on? Okay, this is a Type 5 PFD. This is what is required by the state for all customers to wear. As a guide, I'll be wearing a Type 3 vest today. I don't have to have as much flotation as you because it's not as likely I'm going to fall in the river as you are. Okay, now, every jacket must be buckled completely. There are 4 buckles, and it's not buckled until you hear that. Okay? So, everybody buckles up. Go.
Push her in.
Push her in. Make sure it floats. Make sure she floats.
Right here. Once your jacket's on, you should have your neighbor check it for tightness. If it's
That's
loose, it can be adjusted.
It can be.
That's the use of your PFD. All right. So everyone keeps their jacket on at all times. I recommend you keep your jackets on at lunch because if you happen to slip on a rock and fall into the river, you wouldn't want to be in there without your personal flotation device. So you can unbuckle it at lunch, but keep it on. You will see tied to your boat several buckets. One of the buckets will look like this. This is your lunch bucket. In here is your lunch. You want to try and guard that this bucket doesn't fall out. It will be tied in. Buckets are fastened to the boat with something called a carabiner. Okay? There will be another type of bucket attached to your boat. This one will have holes in the bottom and no lid. What do you think this bucket is for?
Water.
The one with holes in the bottom and no lid? Oh. That would be a wet lunch.
Fish.
This is your bail bucket. What happens when you go through a rapid is water spills into your raft and fills it up, and your boat becomes like a submerged barge that won't steer or maneuver. So you have to get busy and bail it out. You put your foot in the center of the raft, you bend over, you get a big bucket full of water, and you dump it outside the raft. Hopefully, some people have to be told that. Bail all the water out. Okay? Another use for the bail bucket, and you can kill two birds with one stone. As you're bailing, you might want to dump water on the neighboring boat because it's kind of fun, and especially if they aren't expecting it. They'll kind of go, okay. But then you spend the rest of the day kind of happy to run away from them because they're going to want to pay you back. Now, you will be issued a paddle. You do not want to splash with the paddle because you could slice somebody in the face and hurt them, okay? The only thing that you can splash with are the bail buckets or your hands, okay? Now, proper grip of the paddle. Let's take a look at that. I have to find my iPad.